Twin Flames. So today we're talking about something that affects many people on the Twin Flame journey, and it's called the runner-chaser dynamic. So if you're feeling like your Twin Flame is constantly pulling away or running from you, this video is for you. So I'm Abigail, I'm an Ascension Coach in training with Twin Flames Universe, and I've been where you are on my journey as well. So today I wanted to talk to you about this dynamic and how to heal it. So first, let's address what this dynamic feels like. So the runner-chaser dynamic is essentially, it looks like one twin flame is running while the other is chasing after them. So maybe your twin flame seems distant or uninterested in you, or they keep disappearing despite the deep connection that you share. It can feel incredibly painful and confusing, but here's the truth. The runner-chaser dynamic is actually a myth. So you and your twin flame share one consciousness at your core. This means you make the same core choices. So if one twin flame is running, how could the other be chasing if you're truly one and making the same core choice? The answer is they can't. This perception only exists when we're experiencing separation consciousness. So your twin flame is your perfect mirror. They reflect all areas where you are and aren't choosing love within yourself and your shared consciousness with them. So when it appears they're running from you, they're actually showing you where you're running from yourself. I know this might sound confusing at first. How could you be running from yourself when they're clearly the one pulling away? So how can you be running from yourself? So running from yourself can show up in many ways. You might be seeking love and validation outside of yourself instead of giving it to yourself or going to God. Maybe you're avoiding painful emotions or not facing parts of yourself that you judge as unworthy. I know I've done that for sure. So often we look to our twin flame to complete us or fill an inner void, but this actually puts pressure on your union and it pushes them away. So the truth is, your twin flame isn't holding all of your love, joy, and romance. These are already within you. Being with your twin flame won't fill a void within you. In fact, they can't be around you when you're seeking them to complete you, because this reinforces the belief that love exists outside of yourself. That's a very painful belief to have, and I know that I've worked through this a lot, and I feel like it's a very common belief that a lot of us have. So I remember when I first started my journey, I was completely focused on my twin flame and what he was doing. I was convinced he was the one running away. It was really hard for me to acknowledge that actually I was the one running from myself. This was a really tough pill to swallow for me, and I know it can be for other people as well. So think about it. Have you ever had someone in your life who seemed really clingy, someone who was obsessed with what you were doing, constantly reaching out or always trying to be around? There's an energy to that. This feeling that they're trying to get something from you. Nobody wants to be around that energy. The same principle applies here. Running away from yourself is very repulsive to your twin flame, and chasing after them is very repulsive to them as well. Well, it's the same energy, of course. But here's what I've learned. When you really take your attention and place it back on yourself, everything feels better. It feels more peaceful because you're giving yourself everything you need instead of seeking it from your twin flame. That's the awesome thing about twin flames. You just love yourself and they can't resist it. They want to be with you when you're loving yourself, because this is highly magnetic to your twin flame, is when you're being yourself and loving yourself. This is very different from soulmate relationships, which can be very transactional. How many other relationships can you say that you get closer to that person just by loving yourself? The world often teaches us that we have to do things or that things have to happen a certain way on the outside. But that's not how it has to work. That's not really how it works in divine truth. There's great peace and relief in finding that you only need to love yourself and do the inner work. This doesn't mean that what you're experiencing is your fault or anybody's fault, or that you need to tolerate bad behavior. It just means you're taking responsibility for how you feel so you can empower yourself to move forward. And when you reach a place of peace, you find your solution and your next steps forward. When you reach a state of peace, the next steps for you to take are made clear and you simply take them. That's a much more relaxed and peaceful way to go about life in your twin flame journey rather than constantly trying to figure out what you need to be doing. That's the awesome thing about the twin flame journey. Really, the only thing you need to do is feel your feelings and love yourself. How simple is that? It is simple, but it doesn't always feel that simple, That's it. And from there, your journey unfolds and all of your next steps become clear. So how do we actually do this inner work? So let me share with you the mirror exercise. If you've seen my other videos, you've probably heard me talk about it before, and I'm going to talk about it again here. This is the most powerful tool I've found for healing these patterns. It's a simple 4-step process that helps you bring love to all the places within you that need it. And it's taught by my spiritual teachers, Jeff and Shalia. So in step 1, we identify the upset in a clear, concise sentence. So for example, with the runner-chaser dynamic, you might write, I'm upset with my twin flame because they are running from me. Pretty straightforward, simple step 1. So step 2 is to flip all the nouns to pronouns, pointing them at yourself. So our example for step 2 becomes, I'm upset with myself because I'm running from myself. Okay, so on to step 3. So in step 3 is to ask yourself, is there any truth to this statement? And the hint is, the answer is always yes, because you are experiencing it. So somewhere within you, this is happening as well. So in our example, you might find places where you're running from your feelings, or avoiding giving yourself attention, or not wanting to face certain aspects of yourself, for example. There's numerous different places you can be running from yourself, but for the sake of this mirror exercise, we'll just focus on those. So in step 4 is when all the real magic and healing happens. This is where you give yourself love, where you give yourself everything you need to feel loved. And you ask that part of yourself that's running away, what it needs to feel loved. Maybe it needs attention or compassion or understanding. Then you give that to yourself. I remember when I first started working with the mirror exercise, I discovered so many ways I was running from myself. I was constantly seeking validation externally, trying to get my twin flame's attention instead of giving myself the attention that I really needed. So when I finally started turning inward and loving myself, things began to shift. Because twin flames share one consciousness and make the same core choices, you'll find that as you stop running from yourself, they will reflect this change. Now, it's important to understand that this doesn't always happen immediately. These patterns can have multiple layers, and it's essential to move through each one at your own pace. So one of the most powerful ways that I've found to draw your twin flame closer is to romance yourself. There's nothing more attractive to your twin flame than you loving and honoring yourself. They're drawn to the real you, the part of you that embodies self-love, self-respect, your divinity, because you are divine. We don't often think that of ourselves, but we are all divine children of God. And I want to emphasize something really important here. Your twin flame isn't actually running from you. Like we said earlier, they love you so much that they're showing you what needs healing so you can experience the fullness of love within yourself. Each time you choose to love yourself instead of chase them, you're taking a step toward truly being with your twin flame and being in union. Remember, your twin flame isn't outside of you. They exist within your heart, and you can connect with them at any time you choose, just by tuning inward and feeling their presence, feeling your feelings. Every time you love yourself, they're right there with you. It's safe to redirect your focus from chasing them to nurturing yourself and moving through your emotions as they arise. It's safe to really focus on yourself and to let go of chasing and running away from yourself. It's okay to focus on you. If you're finding yourself in this runner-chaser dynamic right now, I encourage you to try the mirror exercise. Be gentle with yourself as you practice it. Each step you take toward loving and choosing yourself is a step toward union with your twin flame. So thank you for watching the video today. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe for more twin flame content, and let me know in the comments if you'd like me to go deeper in any aspect of what we covered today. Alright, so with that said, I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.